Aloha everyone, Ronson Browno here. I am a attentive listener. That's right. What do? I tell you what I do. I listen to anyone that has an issue in life. All right? We all need that friend to bounce off ideas, to vent. Maybe there's something going on in our lives and we just want to like let loose and there's nobody to talk to, and you've read Bibles and you've done meditation, but there's nothing like venting to another human being. Now, I've been listening to people for a long time. For some reason, it's like the divine. Friends tell me, man, you're a good listener. I can always like bounce off ideas, or if someone's going through some problems, they tell me their problems, and sometimes they tell me the same problems over and over. But that is called venting in just layman's terms, in everyday language, not being a psychologist or whatever. It's just we need to vent. I need to vent. When shit hits the fan and I got nobody to talk to, I got certain friends I can vent to, and sometimes they tell me to shut up. So it's good to have like a neutral person to vent to, almost like a therapist, but not a therapist. Okay, and let me say this right now. If you hire me for 1 hour sessions, all I do is listen. You can vent, you can cuss, moan, groan about anything, about anybody in your life. If there's someone giving you grief, you can call me. We can do a Zoom. I try not to meet in person because it's just much better if we do it like via Zoom, FaceTime, or Facebook Messenger, or WhatsApp, or just over the phone. It's better. I'm affordable, and I'm telling you, people need to vent. So if you need to vent, you call me up and we'll set up a free half-hour session, no charge. But people need to vent. That's all I'm saying. You need to vent. And let me tell you who's been venting lately, all right? Local brothers. Brothers from the ages of 30 and up. That's when these local brothers, or I'm in Hawaii, so I say locals. It's when I'm talking to my fellow local brothers. Local brothers in their 30s up. That's when they're starting to get serious with raising a family, and things they think are hunky dory. It's going to be all nice, and coke floats and surfing waves, and everything's going to be fine. But then they realize that life happens and shit hits the fan, and their wives or their girlfriends or their fiancés, they get worried or they get anxiety, and then it flips everybody out. So it's good to vent and call me up. We can talk. And believe it or not, I have a lot of female callers, and we do Zoom. And man, the females have all kinds of venting going on. And again, I don't share anything with anyone. Certain Zooms, depending on the subject you want to talk about, I need to record it to prevent any kind of legal actions. In other words, if someone has a really deep problem with somebody and they don't want answers, of course, because I can't give answers. I can't help solve problems. That's a job for a therapist and a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I just listen. But if someone is telling me that they have a bad time at work and someone is maybe stalking them or whatever, I need to record it because that can lead to legal ramifications. Okay, but usually I don't record nothing. It's just what you tell me, in one ear, out the other. Zooms, anything online, I use headphones so nobody can hear. But lately a lot of females been calling me with problems that they have. Local brothers telling me problems they have. A lot of it is family issues, relationship issues, and work issues, and financial issues. The basics, like everyone's stressing out. So I always say, you talk to me, you vent, you don't stress out. Again, I'm not a licensed psychologist or a therapist, so I can't give you advice. If you are dealing with like emotionally stressful issues like depression, anxiety, PTSD, or whatever, and you need help, you need answers, that's not me. I can refer you to professionals. But if you just want to vent anything. You got a dream you're sharing about, a dream didn't work out, a project didn't work out, and you just need to vent and let it off your chest and out of your mind to clear your head. That's me. I'm an attentive listener. All right. Being one, in most states, you don't need to be certified unless I work for like a hospital or something. So I'm not certified in anything. I just been doing this for a long time. You know, it's like a little league coach. You don't need to be certified to be a little league coach. If you know how baseball, you can coach. You know, you just sign up and you can help the kids. So that's me. But I do charge a fee. Again, I'm not licensed because you don't need to be licensed unless you're a therapist and you're working for an organization. So I'm independent. I do study attentive listening and life coaching. And basically, I just listen. I just listen. And that's not an easy job because sometimes people are venting and they tell me, hey, Ryan, man, what do you think? And I have to be very careful of telling them what I think. And if I do offer my opinion, I have to say it like a warning, right? Hey, this is just my opinion. It's not an answer to your problems. So, call me up. Here's my number. I'm gonna get a new number, but we can do Zoom. We can do like a half hour Zoom and do phone calls just to get the ball rolling, right? So men, women, adults 18 and over. If you are a minor, 18, 17 and below, sorry, you're gonna have to have a parent set it up, and then we can talk. And your parent needs to be present if we talk, and because kids need to vent. And if it's just venting, but if there's a problem at home, abuse or anything like that, I won't go there. You need to see a licensed family counselor, therapist, whatever. So anyway, enough said. I am your attentive listener. Call me like your friend. I charge a decent fee, not astronomical, depending on what you need to talk about. We can work out a plan if you need more sessions to talk. And hey, I tell my friends. One of my friends told me, "Hey, Ron, man, I like you because I can just talk to you over the phone, and the price I charge him is like if he was to take me to a good lunch or a good dinner, just me and him shooting the breeze, right, talking about guy stuff or family stuff, you know what I mean? So if you take me to lunch at a nice place, lunch for two or dinner for two could be like $100. So this way, it's just you pay me for my services. It's reasonable. You get to vent. I'll be your attentive listener for life. I had one gentleman who I was listening to for like 20 years. He passed away about 3 weeks ago, and I was his attentive listener, and I won't say his name, but he passed away. He was like 7, 8 years old, and he told me, man, he goes, man, you're a good listener, and that's why he used to give me money on the side, and or buy me a good lunch or whatever, or buy me something that, I like the Dodgers, so sometimes he used buy me Dodgers like Haps or whatever. But anyway, I am Ron Sobrano. I am an attentive listener. Call me up. My number's right here. My email's right there. Call me up if you need to vent, and we can get rolling. All right? You can be my client. I can be your pro listener. All right. Have a good one.